Dear Grace, back to the news. Experts discuss the dark likelihood of abandoned brain implant technology. Wow. Kind of going down a dark path with that article. I think let's get it working first and worry about it. What are the chances of you existing? A biologist explains. Big odds. Self-taught hardware engineer discovers that GPUs really are ridiculously complex and hard to. Scientists reveal major new factor in bumblebee decline. Alarming superbug from deadly eye drop outbreak has spread to dogs. The choice paradox. Why more won't make you happier. Key points. This is nice. Fine, I'll give Psychology Today credit. Those summaries nice. Choice is often linked to freedom and happiness. Great. Choice saturation can cause the opposite of satisfaction. Agreed. Research suggests an ideal number of options to aid in decision making. It's kind of the problem with conversation is everyone just takes their first option. Sorry, applause break. Might get a few of those today. Loud ones. Don't know why. A field AI is conquering unstructured autonomy. Einstein Challenge, exploring the cosmic glitch in gravity. New relocated Burnaby Library now open in a mall. Does obesity protect against dementia or increased risk? Near perfect quantum teleportation achieved by harnessing noise. Let me guess. A particle. I won't know more of these articles until they can teleport a mouse. Or maybe something not alive, but whatever. Scientists identified degrees of Kevin Bacon gene. Every emergency vehicle has to go across that bridge for some reason. Ukraine unveils AI-generated foreign ministry spokesperson. Well, that spokesperson won't be afraid of death threats. It doesn't exist. Oh, we're gonna pull your plug. Go for it. It's fucking brilliant. Program in what you want to release and not release and let people ask you questions. Right? What do you have to hide? electric humanoid robot poised to shake up the job market. Second Renaissance. Tech uncovers ancient scroll secrets of Plato and cohorts. First Americans came in 4 different waves from Siberia. Linguist argues. Now the linguists have an opinion. Great. Pros and cons of discussing mental health issues in the workplace. Let me just fix all the mental health issues. Determinants of behavior and their efficacy as targets of behavioral change interventions. Behavioral change interventions. Reassessing early education. Startling insights from a new preschool study. 5 skeletons found under Wolf's Lair home of Herman Coring in Poland. Thanks to AI, we're in the golden age of freelancing. It is crucial to think before engaging in relationship-threatening behavior. Incredible Hulk, Lizard unveils secrets of evolutionary adaptation. New quantum sensing scheme could lead to enhanced high-precision nanoscopic techniques. Vancouver tenant wins year of rent after landlord's daughter didn't move in. Archaeologists find rare item worth more to Romans than its weight in gold. Good vibrations, low energy lasers induce atomic excitation in semiconductor materials. Wow. Feeling stuck? We asked 67 Canadian artists for their best creative advice. I tried MindJourney's new web app for making AI images, and I'm never going back to Discord. OpenAI's Sora makes its first official music video. 3 Indian nationals charged with killing BC Sikh activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Two colossal solar flares explode from the sun, and Earth is in the firing line. Gonna be a busy day. Vancouver City buses ditch Go Canucks Go message in favor of more inclusive slogan. The West Community Center opening April 29th. Pools on May 14th. We have to go there. I don't even have a pass. I bet you I do. Beef recall as dire warning issued. Dire. 5 foods people swear by for hangover cures. This army of cyborg cockroaches. Try that again. This army. What is brain shunt failure? Why headaches and fatigue may be warning signs for certain children. Cranberry extracts can revitalize gut health in just 4 days. Apocalypse goes mainstream. The end of the world is becoming a normal conversation. Not cool. Being popular can derail teens' sleep habits. Hold your nose. Surface level ozone may ruin summer and your health. Is dementia disappearing? Surprisingly, study reveals cognitive decline may be slowing down. Emergency crews respond to second fire at Donald Street high-rise in less than a week. Photos for many foods coming down. Inflation has left a legacy. Photos. Prices for many foods coming down, but inflation has left a legacy. Documentary tells a little-known story of Japanese Canadian civil rights photographer. FIBA 3x3 Olympic. Red Dress Fashion Show in Kamloops honors Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women. 2024 Canada Cup of Diving, men's 3-meter final. The sweet stories of the photographer and the older man who's become her muse. Black youth face barrier in mental health case access. Experts. Firefighter mental health a priority, Wildlife Services. Jeffrey Epstein's Black Book with 221 high-profile names is being sold in secret auction. The book, which is said to include over 200 names, has been described by its sellers as a fascinating relic of criminal history. mystery of a strange creature caught on camera that baffled entire city has never been solved. That'll be on Casper site. Scientists discover remains of a buried planet. Scientists discover remains of a buried planet deep within the Earth. Ryan Gosling opens up about avoiding roles that put him in a dark place for the sake of his family. Cybertruck owners share warnings as he reveals the biggest downsides of owning one. Emotional Robert Downey Jr. movie has just landed on Netflix and people are calling it a must-watch. Eminem to relearn how to rap again after drug overdose. Drake responds to Kendrick Lamar's claim that he has a secret daughter. Jimmy Fallon left sweating after Nicole Kidman made things incredibly awkward with accidental bum burn. New glasses. Gypsy Rose Blanchard shares the biggest lesson she learned since being released from prison. Hammer-headed bat, the African megabat that looks like a gargoyle and holds honking pageants. Kinda cute. Hammer-headed bat, the African megabat that looks like a gargoyle and holds honking pageants. Key events in the Bible, such as the settlement and destruction of Jerusalem, confirmed using radiocarbon dating. China launches Chang's 6-sample return mission to Moon's far side. At least they said far side instead of dark side. 3,500-year-old rest house used by ancient army discovered in Sinai Desert. First Americans come over in 4 different waves from Siberia. Among those argues. I've heard that one. 170 people likely exposed to tuberculosis in Long Beach outbreak. Lab-grown mini placentas. Lab-grown mini placentas reveal key clue to why pregnancy complications happen. Antarctic ice hole the size of Switzerland keeps cracking open. Now scientists finally know why. James Webb Telescope spots wind blowing faster than a bullet, a two-faced planet with eternal night. 1,700-year-old Roman shipwreck was stuffed to the gills with fish sauce when it sank. Neutron scattering, unlocking the secrets of safer, more powerful lithium batteries. NASA's Curiosity rover covers signs of an Earth-like environment on ancient Mars. New hope for neurological disorders. Scientists have discovered how an essential nutrient enters the brain. About fucking time. Engineering life. Chemists have created the functional synthetic cells that act like real ones. Marine mystery solved. Ancient origins of bioluminescence uncovered. Revitalizing rechargeables. New elements enhance lithium battery cyclability. Genetic sleuths discover red squirrels as medieval leprosy carriers. Tube map for space, unlocking planetary paths. Not theory. First water main leaves 31,000 properties without water in East Sussex. Be in awe. Everything you need to know about the U.S. Circadia kitten. Pesticides by stealth. Garden soil conditioners. Killing worms. Expect fear. I'm scared. Gas stoves increase nitrogen dioxide exposure above WHO standards study. Gaza vote divides Society of Authors after call to condemn Israeli military action. UK tenants should have right to garden, leading horticulturist says. Florida sees thriving future if climate resilience managed, research finds. Britain's climate action plan unlawful. Britain's climate action plan unlawful. High Court rules. Venomous snakes likely to migrate en masse amid global heating, study says. The weekly wrap. Harm reduction advocates have definitely lost the drug policy debate. Yeah, I don't think so. Because both sides are full of. It's the same argument over and over again. Brian Lee Crowley, we need more than mere happiness to fix what's wrong with Canada and the world. The Foreign Interference Inquiry report shows Commissioner Hogue is succeeding where Special Rapporteur Johnston failed. Surprisingly aggressive for a leader so far ahead. Canada has not taken defense seriously for at least 30 years. Yeah, why should we? The U.S. will protect us. Our online world is the new Wild West, and just as dangerous. Disagree with that one. Online, you have a choice. Back in the Wild Wild West, they're just trying to survive. It's a big difference. A major loss of income for mothers is driving Canada's record low fertility. Richard Shimoka, The Liberals are not going to fix Canada's real defence spending problem. Just get rid of the entire department. Five tweets on pro-Palestine encampments being cleared by police. Scientists speak out about reports NASA telescope found signs of alien life. Ooh, scientists. Let's see. Better understanding should come later this year, researchers say. And as usual, why'd I even bother? Watch SpaceX crew move Dragon capsule to make way for Boeing Starliner. Deadly crash highlights risks of police chases. Do policies need to be tougher? No shit, Sherlock. This is where they think they're in the wild, wild west, and they're not. Bodies found in search for Australian brothers and US man missing on Mexico surfing trip. Israeli-Gaza war, ceasefire talks intensify in Cairo. What is happening in New West with drug decriminalization? Red Dress Day event in New Westminster, BC on May 5th. What is today? Today is May 4th. BPD Chief Palmer, public drug use, intolerable situation. Intolerable. They're just embarrassed. They don't know how to solve the problem. Yeah, it's all over the city, so it's not concentrated. So it doesn't look like East Hastings. It's a better way to do it, but whatever. Kelowna dog owners bylaw penalty reduced by BC Supreme Court. Kelowna News. TransAlta scraps wind farm project as energy market changes. TransAlta scraps wind farm project as energy market changes loom for Alberta. Grandparents who died along infant in wrong-way Highway 401 crash identified. Allison Haynes, family medicine no longer practiced. Opinion, distribution of family doctor short changes. As Quebec tweaks doctor permits, family medicine leads. Awesome charity for autistic children closes due to dwindling funding. Adam's ego. Danielle Smith embraces science-based transgender policies. A psychologist explains the difference between psychopaths and sociopaths. BC Gas, where to find new West cheapest fuel. They do that like every week. New Westminster News, train strikes kills pedestrian. That would shut it down for a while. Do you think BC's new housing rules and regulations will help make housing more affordable? Probably not. A little still a little grumpy, Grace. No Canucks. Yeah, what's that? Gas station operator ordered out of location on Penticton Indian band land. Used to walk by there all the time. Comment Black. Trudeau owes us all an apology. How about every politician ever owes everyone an apology for probably 90% of what they fucking did? Carbon-eating bacteria may hold the key to decarbonization. No shit. State the obvious news. Miller's silly yet brilliant shirt prank keeps Canucks loose ahead of pivotal Game 6. Made it funny. BC man convicted of fentanyl trafficking after judge rejects claim drugs belong to a friend. The oldest excuse in the book. Senior's body found 3 months after South Edmonton apartment fire. Manslaughter charge pending. Sydney senior asks Air Canada for ice pack. Gets $450 bill from Alberta Health Services. Are protests an effective way to change minds? Not in my opinion. Both parties probably don't know shit about the real story. I'm just saying, Grace. Excuse me while I make a coffee. One scoop, 2 scoop, 3 scoop. Orangutan. 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 I thought I knew how to say that word, but apparently I don't. What's the climate-friendly way to get rid of worn-out clothes and linens? London drugs rebuilding infrastructure after cybersecurity breach. They fucked up. Dad's in the lake. We gotta go. Family of South Okanagan senior finding humor after lake rescue. Bob Law's boycott. Organizer says she met with the CEO. Did that yesterday. Hope you're getting us tickets for that, Grace. North Vancouver. Blech. Fine, I'll read it. Jim Jeffries, Jimmy Carr to co-headline Victoria show, October 26th. Oh wait, that's Victoria. Whichever. They're obviously on a Canadian tour. Grace. North Vancouver Brewery. How much coffee do I have to drink before I can speak? That's the question. North Vancouver Brewery wins award at World Beer Cup. Fuck, you think I'd be able to say that word? Average Canadian, we need to come together and talk. Yeah, I agree with that. Elon Musk kills electric Tesla. The new fuel that is stupid, but he wants to try. Sometimes they just mess this shit around so fucking bad. Microsoft is making a massive 10 billion renewable energy bet that will pay big dividends for this top energy stock. How flexible work, including remote, actually has a positive effect on your mental health. Military ranked by critics online after unveiling new army logo. Military raked. By critics online after unveiling a new army logo. Strong, proud, ready. For what? Who the fuck is going to invade us? The only people that could, we couldn't defeat anyways, so it's just a waste of fucking money. Probably only do it because the US tells us to. Just my opinion. I'm probably wrong. Grace? Alright. Let's see if reading Bill Burr quotes that this person can't get enough of. will inspire me, Grace. Honesty and hilarity. Bill Burr. Honesty and hilarity. Bill Burr crushes both. Bill Burr has taken up the Is that the quote? My favorite kind of humor is basically if it was happening to you, it wouldn't be funny, but to observe it, it's hilarious. I guess, okay. There's something about going to a dude ranch that makes you feel like a man, even though you're basically just riding a horse. Any job you can do in your pajamas is not a difficult job. Who would run for a job where it costs $100 million to get it so you can make $400 grand a year? That isn't a red flag to anybody. I still remember the first gig where I got people going. It was Rascals in New Jersey, and the place was packed. I was scared. People were expecting me to be funny. I gotta be honest, every time I walk into a club, it's that same fear. I bet The Walking Dead gets really low ratings out in Montana just because all they need to do is look out the window, am I right? Try that again. I bet The Walking Dead gets really low ratings out in Montana just because all they need to do is look out their window, am I right? Let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Why would you want to sleep in on a Sunday? We can all go pay $18 for eggs. Now you're thinking. I love how we'll eat a pizza that can clog 4 arteries in one slice, but we're concerned about sodium. I'm not saying women are smarter than men, but I am saying that men are dumber than women. I love making movies and being in any that I can be in. I like to be in those giant movies as a 5th or 6th lead. I have 3 or 4 killer scenes. You don't have the responsibility of the entire movie being on you. I like those roles. I'm shooting for the middle. Marriage is just finding that one person who annoys you the least. Unfortunately, I'm going to annoy the most, but your choice, Grace. You have no idea how long a year is until you're stone sober. Carnegie Hall is as good as they say it gets. Good as they say it is. It's not like Stonehenge, which looks great in books, but then when you go there, and it's a pile of rocks next to the highway. Bill doesn't have to worry about me stealing his material. I can't read it. There's actually a highway right next to it, but you don't see that in pictures. lot of my fears and anxieties are the fears and anxieties of a 6-year-old boy. When I finally confront them, they're really small. I actually had the urge to elbow an elderly lady today. I'm not going to lie, I am a psycho. Luckily, I get most of it out on stage. I used to always work in warehouses because if my boss gave me a rough time, I could just get on a forklift and just drive away from him. The best way to teach your kids how to save money is to keep all your financial struggles completely hidden from them. Nothing screams, I have a drinking problem, like boarding a plane with your own beer cozy. Realizing that sleeping on a futon when you're 30 is not the worst thing. You know what's worse? Sleeping in a king bed next to a wife you're not really in love with. You're not really in love. You're not really in love with. But for some reason you're married, and you got a couple of kids, and you got a job you hate. You'll be laying there fantasizing about sleeping on a futon. There's no risk when you get where you go after a dream. There's a tremendous amount to risk playing it safe. Even though still sucks grease, but whatever. 10:30 in the morning, I shouldn't even be awake. I heard a quote once in a documentary about a band that said, you're better off owning everything, 100%, and selling 20,000 copies of an album than signing with a record company and selling 1 million copies. There's never been a truer statement about show business than that. Taking care of a baby is the ultimate slap in the face to somebody who used to think they were cool. I think I know how to raise a kid. You just play catch with them. You just talk about life, and you distract them by throwing the ball. They don't even notice that you're filling up their heads with your theories. Haven't you noticed that every time the government screws up, McDonald's has a new sandwich? What would you rather be, 52 and look 52, or 52 and look like a 20-year-old lizard? Do you know how many times a week people ask me why I'm yelling? You got me on that one. There's nothing more freeing than being able to speak your mind and not care what anyone thinks of you, unless you're married. I wish they would teach it in schools, give people the belief that they are going to do well. A lot of people are really talented and scared to follow their talent because you don't know where it's going. I don't think I'm cursed with a weak jawline. I think I have a very strong jawline that just happens to be attached to a very weak brain. You know, I can't even imagine waking up and not having coffee. I'd kill everybody. I'm like that loud guy in the bar who kind of makes sense for about 10 minutes, and then you realize he flunked everything at high school, so you just laugh at him. I don't have pet peeves, I have major psychotic hatreds. That was pretty good. Killed some time, made me laugh. Jennifer Lopez wore nothing but a breastplate for a top. Nurses amazed. This shoe helps with pain like no other. That is an ad. is this? I think this is all on. Here we go. First tidal-powered engine produced. The ocean hides a new fuel. Storing energy with compressed air is about to have its moment of truth. EK needs to double clean energy deployment to meet net zero target. Alright, let's go for headlines. Does mandatory alcohol screening infringe on drivers' rights? What you need to know. Definitely does. I'm not saying drive drunk, I'm just saying what are they going to charge them with if they don't? Kitten breeding dispute leads to unsuccessful $5,000 claim in BC tribunal. Shooter says universities are for free speech, but people must feel safe amid pro-Palestine protests. Princess Anne commissions new Navy ship in North Vancouver. Like we could defend. Donald Street fire, some tenants return home. Space Race 2.0 is on. Shining 6 heads to the moon. Boeing's on the verge of launching astronauts aboard new capsule, the latest entry to space travel. Physicists say they may have found a powerful glitch in the universe. Whew, about time. This should. Let's see here. Waterloo in British Columbia. Volunteer night owls needed for shoe swab back count. Bumblebee nests are overheating to fatal levels. Study finds. Burnaby residents should have say on land planning, regardless of income. just scroll for 4 minutes. Pearl Jam kicks off tour in Vancouver tonight. You can still grab tickets. Canadian Army unveils new logo and gets roasted by Nexians. Lovers' reaction to seeing and smelling food may unlock new diabetes cure. There's a whole other class of dementia we knew shockingly little about. The Buddha's Solution to Suffering. By Psychology Today. They believe in the Buddha. Learn the middle way, 4 noble truths, and 8-fold path. The Buddha was struck by human suffering and spent years trying to understand it. The cause of all suffering, he said, is desire. And the way to eliminate all suffering is the 8-fold path. Let's see if we can figure this out in 1 minute or less. Last time I discussed the life of the Buddha was struck by human suffering and spent years trying to understand its causes and the means to overcome them. After reaching enlightenment, the Buddha delivered his first sermon in the Deer Park at someplace. He predicted the middle way between luxury and austerity, the 4 noble truths and the enlightened path. The middle way and dependent origination. The middle way and dependent origination. 2 early insights that led the Buddha to enlightenment are the middle way and dependent origination. According to the doctrine of the middle way, we are more likely to achieve insight and wisdom if we avoid extremes of gratification and self-notification. In his case, as a prince and later as a mendicant, whatever the fuck that is. According to the doctrine, of dependent origination, or independent arising. Life is a continued process of change, and every instance of change has manifold cause and effects. This means that all things are conditioned by other things, so that all things are interconnected. Suffering arises from a craving for permanence, but all permanence is an illusion that, in time, can only lead to pain and disappointment. Although nothing exists permanently, it is equally wrong to say that nothing exists at all. This, too, is a middle way. Does the self exist? In one sense it does, and in another it does not. Which is why, when asked the question, the Buddha, as was his way, simply remained silent. The Four Noble Truths: if all things are conditional and subject to change, then so too is suffering. It is said that upon enlightenment, the Buddha understood the Four Noble Truths, more accurately translated as the Four Truths for the noble spirit. It is said, upon enlightenment, the Buddha understood the Four Noble Truths, more accurately translated as the Four Truths for the noble spirit. Suffering is inherent in all life. The cause of all suffering is desire. It's a natural way to eliminate all suffering. The noble, eightfold path is that way. The first truth, dukkha, acknowledges the unsatisfactory nature of existence. The second truth, whatever, attributes a cause to the suffering. The third truth posits a state of comparable to the great one as